Bishop Gilman, the 24 St. Philip.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to sunny Pasco, Washington. We are in the Tri-Cities for this 3A classification consolation game between the home Blanchet Braves and the visiting Kelso Highlanders. Alongside Chris King, I'm Jake Eastman saying thank you for being with us this morning. The Blanchet Braves have taken the field, so let's get right to the lineups for both teams. First for the visiting Kelso Highlanders, as announced by 11th year coach Scott Meeker. Meeker's lineup goes as such. The shortstop, Taylor Radcliffe, leads off. Second baseman, Cody Rogers, hits second. Slate Miller is in the 3-hole. He is the center fielder. The designated hitter, Nate Grumbois, hits cleanup. Tyson Johnson, the right fielder, is in the 5-hole. He's followed by Trevor Feeney, the catcher. Corbin Sims plays third base, Alex McCormick at first, and Cam Johnson rounds out the lineup for the Highlanders. Pitching for Kelso today, that will be Quentin Hakkinen. Defensively, let's look at Blanchet. From left to right around the outfield, it will be Nick Wass, Nate Williams, and Josh LaRussa. The third baseman is Ray Sidarius. Nate Backus plays short. Sam Holberg is the second baseman. Connor Selly will play first. Jacob Place is behind the plate today doing the catching duties, and his battery mate on the mound today will be Eric Kimpton. As Taylor Radcliffe steps into the batter's box, here to tell you all about it is Chris King.
The southpaw Eric Kimpton on the hill for Bishop Blanchet. Kimpton, a senior, 2-2 on the year, has thrown 20 in a third innings with a 3.79 ERA. So the Braves and the Highlanders battling it out for third place in the state tournament. The first pitch from Kimpton in for a strike on Taylor Radcliffe. The shortstop Radcliffe went 1 for 3 in yesterday's ball game, had a double in the 7th inning for the Highlanders. The 0-1 pitch is a fly ball to deep right field. Going back is LaRussa. He'll have enough time and enough space, and he's there to make the grab for out number 1. Another nice day that we have here in Pasco, day 2. Hopefully you joined us for yesterday, as today just more of the same, more great baseball action. We brought you 4 games yesterday here on the WIAA network, and 4 more here today. Cody Rogers steps up to the plate, takes the first pitch for a strike. Kimpton kicks and deals home. A ground ball. That will go through the infield and out into right for a base hit. Cody Rogers reaches aboard with 1 out and no score here in the top of the first. So both these teams in good battles yesterday. Tougher for Kelso. You look at the final score and their matchup against Eastside Catholic, and a score really not indicative of how close that game was, especially through the first 4 innings. The final score ended up being 13-1, but the Crusaders able to score 10 runs in the top of the 7th. Kimpton misses off the plate. Slate Miller now the batter. The senior center fielder. Ready to go. The next delivery a little outside, and the count moves to 2-0.
Chris, you mentioned the 2 losses yesterday. Tough luck for Kelso giving up that 10-run 7th inning. Going to be a real test of character today to see how both these teams bounce back. Blanchet, a really tough loss as well in the morning game. They had that 5-1 lead going to the bottom of the 7th inning, surrendered 4 runs, and then eventually lost in extra innings.
On the 3-0 pitch right down the middle, Kimpton able to come back with a strike. Now 3-1 to Slate Miller. Miller will continue his baseball career, heading to Saddleback Junior College next year. The next delivery swung on and miss. A little high heat, clocking in at 79 miles per hour. And Kimpton able to get a full count. No score, just getting things started here at Gesa Stadium for the day. The first game, the 3A consolation game. The runner takes off. The pitch is outside, so Place has to hold his throw. And heading down to second is Rogers. And Miller on to first on the walk. So Kelso with an opportunity here to maybe make some noise early on. Nate Grumbois steps up to the plate, the cleanup hitter. Runners on at first and second. Delivery high and away. Grumbois goes chasing after it and comes up empty. Grumbois 0 for 3 in yesterday's game. The Highlanders offense really struggled against Eastside Catholic. Again, chasing it one out of the zone. This time fouls it off. A lot of the credit going to Alex Foley, the pitcher for Eastside Catholic, who only gave up 3 hits, going the distance in the victory for Eastside Catholic. The pitch now will go through the right side in for a base hit. They will wave around Rogers. A throw in from LaRussa will be cut off, and an RBI single for Nate Grumbois and the Highlanders. Strike here early, top of the first, and Kelso on top 1-0. On the single, Miller going from first to third. Rogers being able to score from second base, giving the Highlanders the early lead.
Great momentum boost early on here for the Highlanders. You had to think that Blanchet was going to come out a little bit more confident because this Kelso team losing by 12 runs yesterday to a team that Blanchet has beaten twice in the regular season this year.
Tyson Johnson steps up to the plate, takes ball 1. Kimpton's given up 2 base hits, and in his defense, kind of hard luck base hits. Ground balls, if they're hit at a fielder, those are easy outs. As the next pitch is swung on and missed, they just so happen to get through in that hole between Selly at first base and Holberg at second. Able to find a little piece of real estate. And Kelso still in business here. Runners on the corner, 1 out. The 1-1 pitch off the plate. And the count moves to 2-1. We see the wind blowing today, different direction than yesterday. Yesterday it was blowing from left to right field. And this morning right now from right to left. Next pitch is fouled off and the count evens up at 2-2. The delivery, breaking ball goes in the dirt. Place. Able to keep it in front of him. Place, a defensive specialist behind the plate for the Braves pitching staff. Grumbois on at first, being held on by Selly. Here's the payoff pitch, a ground ball again through that same spot. It'll be another RBI base hit. Tyson Johnson drives in Slayton Miller from third, going into second base. Called out is Grumbois. And in safe at second is Tyson Johnson. So it'll go down as an RBI single. Thrown out Grumbois, trying to go from second to third for out number 2. And in the process, heading from first to second is Tyson Johnson. So now the score 2-0. 3 base hits here in the top of the first inning, all going to the right side of the infield and just barely getting out into right field.
Now, you mentioned the bit of luck earlier, Chris. Either of those ground balls are just 5 feet further to the left. They're inning-ending double plays. First one, Blanchet would have got out of here without giving up a single run. The second one, they would have just given up the 1.
Trevor Feeney up at the plate. Gets a strike call, just barely getting a sliver of the outside corner. Count now 1-1 to the number 6 hitter, the catcher for Kelso. Kimpton fires home, breaking ball out in front of it, swinging and missing is Trevor Feeney. 2-0 here in the top of the first inning. Kelso offense just had their coffee and Wheaties this morning. Here at the 10 o'clock game, you need the Wheaties, breakfast of champions. A little coffee just to be up and going this time of the day is the next delivery. Fouled back into the net. But right now, the sun is shining. Throughout yesterday's 4 games, we mostly sunny, but the clouds kind of came and went. No rain at all. The way it looks right now, hopefully we're for nothing but blue skies. The 1-2 delivery, up and away. And the count evens up at 2-2. Should expect to see good crowds again. The 2 local teams, Richland in the consolation game. That'll be next at 1 o'clock. And Kamiakin will be playing for the state championship at the 3A level. Pitch get past the catcher Place, and easily heading down to third base is Tyson Johnson. The Highlanders with a runner just 90 feet away. Trying to add on to the 2 runs they've already brought here in the top of the first. Kimpton's delivery is swung on, hit foul down the first baseline. Everything against the left-hander Kimpton has been going the opposite way against these right-handed batters. Naturally, the lefty has the movement that tails away from the righty, and you can certainly tell by the way that Kelso's been hitting it. Here's a chopper, gloved by the third baseman, Sidarius. Good glove work, able to throw it across the diamond, pulls off Selly, but applies the tag to end the inning. But 3 runs plated for Kelso in the top of the first. As we go to the bottom of the inning, our score 2-0, Highlanders on top.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
To the bottom of the first inning we go. Bishop Blanchet will try to match the output of Kelso. The Highlanders able to score 2 runs off of 3 base hits, all singles just to the right side of the infield. In the top of the first inning, Quentin Hakkinen on the hill getting the start for Kelso. Josh LaRussa, the right fielder, first up for the Braves. The delivery from the lefty misses down and away. Hakkinen leads the Highlanders pitching staff and innings pitched this year. Over 51 innings logged out on the mound. Here's his next offering. Off-speed delivery in for a strike. Hakkinen with a 2.57 ERA and a 4-2 record so far this year. The lefty kicks and deals. The pitch fouled back into the net. LaRussa in yesterday's game was 1 for 5 up at the plate. You know it's a long game in high school baseball. Even if it's your leadoff hitter, when you get 5 at-bats. Here's the 1-2, swung on and miss in the dirt. And Feeney, the catcher, able to get his glove on LaRussa before he went up the line. So a strikeout for out number 1 in the bottom of the first.
Saw Bill Fitzgerald, the home plate umpire, pump that right arm there to signal out, and he's still got that bandage on from yesterday, from when his skin was cut on that foul tip that nicked him.
So hopefully he's doing okay. He's got a little Richland Bishop Blanchet, as we mentioned yesterday, the green color on the tape. Sam Holberg now the batter. Lefty on lefty. The delivery misses downstairs.
It's probably not the easiest thing to see when you show up at the park and you're Kelso and the umpire's wearing the colors of the other team.
Here's Hakkinen's next delivery. Catches the outside corner for a strike. Holberg with a .372 batting average this year. Team high 31 hits as the next pitch misses off the plate. Bishop Blanchet playing 9 innings yesterday. Game 1 of 4, and yesterday is Blanchet unable to hang on to a 5-1 lead. Kamayakin able to rally in the top of the 7th, force it into extra innings, and eventually prevail in the 9th with a 7-5 win. I was going to say over the Braves, but both schools, their nicknames are the Braves. The next offering misses outside, and on the 3-1 count, Hakkinen misses and gives up a free pass to Sam Holberg. 1 out, bottom of the first, 2-0 our score. Kelso scoring 2 runs in the top of the inning. That'll bring up Nate Backus. Backus had 2 hits in his first 2 plate appearances in yesterday's game, including an RBI and a run scored. Hakkinen comes home. The breaking ball falls over the plate for strike 1. Hakkinen now working from the stretch. Comes set. Decent lead over at first for Holberg. Enough to get Hakkinen's attention as he'll toss over to the bag for the first time. Holberg just with 3 stolen bases this year. As Hakkinen comes home, a pop-up that will head back into the seats.
Looks like the first base umpire called a balk that time. Stan Bryson right on top of the call. Quentin Hakkinen not coming to a complete stop before delivering that last pitch.
So Holberg going down to second base with 1 out. Blanchet with an opportunity here to cut back into that 2-0 lead. The count 0-1, and George Monica stepping out of the third base coaching box just to make sure he had the count right. Holberg inching on his lead at second. Breaking ball, foul tipped into the glove, and the count now moves to 0-2. So Hakkinen, not particularly overpowering, but mixes it up. Good off-speed stuff, keeping the batters off balance. Double check, backs to the bag, then comes home. Fastball, trying to locate it outside and get Backus to chase after it, able to resist on the 0-2 count. Here's the 1-2 pitch, grounded foul down the third baseline. I think overall in yesterday's games, more so than if you took an average sample of 4 high school baseball games, we saw a lot of base hits, and hard base hits too, down both lines, down first and the third baseline.
Especially in that last game in the early on, it seemed like everything that landed in fair territory was within 5 yards of that foul line.
The 1-2 pitch driven out to right field. Johnson veers back a couple steps, able to reach up above his head and make the catch for out number 2. So Quentin Hakkinen coming out here in the bottom of the first with the luxury of having a 2-0 lead to work with after his offense coming through, getting 2 runs off of 3 hits in the top of the inning. Struck out the first batter, LaRussa, then walked Sam Holberg, moved to second on a balk, able to get Backus to fly out, and now he'll face his counterpart. The pitcher for the Braves, Eric Kimpton, will try to help his own cause here with 2 down and a runner in scoring position. Pitch misses away. Kimpton hit in the cleanup spot in yesterday's game, a .356 hitter this year. Kimpton played center field in yesterday's game. Was 1 for 2, did have a RBI double though in his second plate appearance. 1-0 pitch, the changeup, clocking in at a speedy 58 miles per hour. Comes in for a strike. Reminds me of that Jamie Moyer Mariners commercial from a few years ago. Throwing that, I guess, fastball. Ooh la la.
It's an all-time classic.
Here's the 1-1. Fastball down below the knees, just misses the strike zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's 2 teams battling for third place here in the 3A state tournament. 2-1 pitch. Just gets the inside corner. As Kempton spins around, thought that might have been off the plate. And now the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the first inning. Braves trying to make something happen. The pitch swung on, a slow chopper to the right side of the infield. Second baseman Rogers grabs it on the run, throws to first, and retires Kempton to end the inning. Blanchet leaves 1 runner on. Holberg left stranded on at second base as we go to the top of the second. Our score, Kelso 2, Blanchet nothing.
Hi, we're Chris
and Anna Groneveld, local dairy farmers from Monroe, Washington.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington, along with Les Schwab Tires, are proud co-title sponsors of the WIAA High School State Championships.
The Washington Interscholastic Activities Association supports high school programs and activities that keep our kids growing in mind and body.
Today's high school students will be some of tomorrow's community leaders, and we feel it is important to do our part in helping foster an appreciation of community, responsibility, teamwork, and sportsmanship in today's youth.
The WIAA helps provide those opportunities through athletic, artistic, and academic competition.
Please join the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires in supporting young people in your community by attending your local high school state championships.
For a complete list of events and activities in your area, visit WIAA.com.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Moving to the top of the second inning, a 2-0 lead for Kelso. The Highlanders able to get 2 runs in the top of the first inning off of 3 base hits, all just breaking through the infield on the right side. First up, Corbin Sims for the Highlanders. Try to keep it going on offense. Sims hitting .357 this year. As the first pitch misses off the plate. Sims in yesterday's game, good when he was up at the plate. 2 for 3 with 2 singles. The next pitch this time makes its way across, and the count evens up at 1-1. These 2 teams here in the consolation game, kind of the underdogs to make it to the Final Four, as the pitch misses in the dirt. Kelso finished the regular season 4th in the Greater St. Helens League. And Bishop Blanchet able to make a run through the Metro League, the always tough Metro 3A. And find their way here into the Final Four. 2-2 count, of course. The loss of Max Engelbrecht, their ace pitcher, hurt them before the year. A heck of an accomplishment. They were able to make it this far, losing their ace, who was already signed to go play at Oregon State and still will after his injury, his ACL injury that he suffered in a basketball game. The 2-2 swung on and miss, and Eric Kempton with his first strikeout of the game. Blows it by Corbin Sims for out number 1 in the top of the second. Lefty on lefty now. Alex McCormick will step up to the plate. The first baseman nearly gets hit as that breezes by his right forearm. McCormick, the only man in the Kelso lineup who didn't play in yesterday's game. The next offering. It's an outside part of the plate. Count evens up at 1-1. Quentin Hakkinen, today's pitcher, was playing first base in yesterday's game. So with him on the hill, McCormick takes over at first. 2-0 our score here in the top of the second inning. Kelso getting 2 to start off the game. The 1-2 pitch fouled back. Should be in store for a great day today. The consolation game, we'll see Richland versus Beamer for 4A. And then Kamiakin versus Eastside Catholic in the 3A state championship. And an SPSL battle for the 4A state championship as we'll see Kentwood take on Puyallup. 2-2 the count. The southpaw kicks and deals down and away. And now a full count to the number 8 hitter, the junior first baseman Alex McCormick. McCormick, a 182 hitter this year. Fouls it back and battles there up at the plate to stay alive. McCormick does have one home run, though. Him and Slayton Miller, the only two Highlanders to get a home run. Not a home run there, but a good result nonetheless for McCormick as he's able to take ball 4, and with one out, it's a free pass down to first base.
Left fielder, Johnson.
Now the number 9 hitter, Cam Johnson, the batter. Kelso sent 6 men up to the plate in the first inning. So Kempton making the move from center field to the pitcher's mound today. Moving out to center field is Nate Williams for the Braves. The next delivery, missing away. And Jake, I guess a credit to Kempton. Though he has given up 2 walks so far, I can think of one pitch that's been right down the middle. He's been working the corners, either inside or outside, but nothing right down the heart of it.
Not serving anything up for the Highlanders.
The runner takes off, a hit and run, and the ball gets fouled out of play by Cam Johnson. Top of the second inning, 2-0. Kelso getting 2 runs in the top of the first. In the bottom of the inning, Blanchet left a runner stranded on at second. The 1-2 pitch swung on, laced into center field, but in front of Williams. Looked like at first that might head right to the center fielder Williams for the Braves, but able to fall down before him and in for a base hit. So the 4th hit of the game for Kelso, and with 1 out, it's back to the start of the order. Taylor Radcliffe will be the batter. The runners on at first and second. Radcliffe flew out to right field in his first at-bat as he fouls it off. The Highlanders, after having 13 runs scored on them yesterday, trying to flip the script around and do the same to Bishop Blanchet here today. Right down the middle for a strike. Radcliffe behind in the count, 0-2. McCormick on at second base, Johnson on at first. The 0-2 delivery, swung on and missed. Thought maybe on the 0-2 pitch, might try to give him something way outside the zone, make him chase after it, but that was a breaking ball right down the middle. That would have been a called strike if he didn't swing at it.
It's the old Greg Maddux mentality. No sense in wasting a pitch. Come right after him. Retire him in 3.
The Highlanders now down to 2 outs, and Kempton trying to work himself out of a little trouble. On the stretch to Cody Rogers. Misses up and away. Rogers, just like all 3 hits in that top of the first inning, went right to the right side of the infield in between Selly at first and Holberg at second. Next delivery misses outside, and with Holberg holding the runner McCormick on at second, big gap over there where he's able to get a base hit the first time. The next pitch misses off the corner of the plate. The offering right down the middle for a strike. Two down here in the inning. Kempton's next pitch, a high fly ball. Backpedaling is LaRussa. He gets under it and is there to make the catch, and that will do it for the top of the second inning. So Kempton and the Braves able to get out of a little trouble as the Highlanders leave runners on at first and second. We move to the bottom of the second inning. Our score, Kelso 2 and Bishop Blanchet 0.
Hi, we're Chris
And Anna Groneveld, local dairy farmers from Monroe, Washington.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington, along with Les Schwab Tires, are proud co-title sponsors of the WIAA High School State Championships.
The Washington Interscholastic Activities Association supports high school programs and activities that keep our kids growing in mind and body.
Today's high school students will be some of tomorrow's community leaders, and we feel it is important to do our part in helping foster an appreciation of community, responsibility, teamwork, and sportsmanship in today's youth.
The WIAA helps provide those opportunities activities through athletic, artistic, and academic competition.
Please join the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires in supporting young people in your community by attending your local high school state championships.
For a complete list of events and activities in your area, visit WIAA.com.
Kelso with the 2-0 lead. Bottom of the second inning. Quentin Hakkinen on the hill. He'll face yesterday's pitcher, Peter Johnson, DHing in today's game. Johnson, the number 5 hitter, will be followed by Connor Selly and Nick Wass. Hakkinen gave up a walk, but that was it in the first inning. Johnson, a .333 hitter. .21 RBIs this year, tied for the most for the Braves. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swung on a high fly ball to center field. Charging in is Rogers, who is playing rather deep, able to come in and in stride, make the grab for out number 1. A lot of respect shown for Peter Johnson there, as Rogers was very, very deep in center field.
Number 17, Connor Selly, the first baseman, Selly.
Connor Selly now the batter. Hakkinen's delivery in for a strike as Bishop Blanchet. Of course, the goal this weekend was to come away with the state championship. Now here in this game is to come away in third place in state. The 0-1 pitch, a hard hit ground ball. One hopper to the shortstop, Radcliffe. Able to glove it. Low throw. But McCormick scoops it out of the dirt. And quickly 2 down. But head coach George Monica for Blanchet just 2 wins away from reaching the 500 milestone for his career. So looking to get number 499 today and then hang on to that. Game number 1 next year. Get number 500. Down coaching third base for Bishop Blanchet. Nick Wass the batter with 2 down. Delivery in for a strike.
Be a very impressive feat once that happens for George Monica. Just a great high school athletic guy. He was the athletic director for a long time at Blanchet and also was the head coach of the varsity football team for a good chunk of time.
That keeps you very, very busy if you're doing all that. And boy, I couldn't imagine just how time intensive and how much it takes to be the head coach of any program at the high school level, let alone a major program like baseball or football. You'd have to think probably right around the most time intensive, and think about how many kids you have turning out and just how much intensity there is with football in general, and how much people love it and follow it. That being the football coach and the baseball coach, that would be a full plate to say the least.
Absolutely, and even more special for George, he gets to do it at his alma mater. He's actually a Blanchet grad.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Wass. Breaking ball low and away. The count evens up at 2-2. Hakkinen looking for the first 1-2-3 inning of the game. A 2-0 lead for the Highlanders. Here in the bottom of the second inning, no one aboard. Kelso turning 3 base hits into 2 runs in the top of the first. 2-2 fouled off again by Wass, the junior left fielder. There's the lefty's 2-2 pitch. Bounces in. And the count now full.
Another note on Monica's coaching tenure at Blanchet. He's actually got an assistant. His longest tenured assistant here is Matt Miller, who played for Monica in both football and baseball.
As Nick Wass lines out to the second baseman Rogers, and that makes a 1-2-3 inning for Hakkinen and the Highlanders. To the top of the third we go. Our score at Kelso 2, Blanchet 0.
Hi, we're Chris.
And Anna Groneveld, local dairy farmers from Monroe, Washington.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington, along with Les Schwab Tires, are proud co-title sponsors of the WIAA High School State Championships.
The Washington Interscholastic Activities Association supports high school programs and activities that keep our kids growing in mind and body.
Today's high school students will be some of tomorrow's community leaders, and we feel it is important to do our part in helping foster an appreciation of community, responsibility, teamwork, and sportsmanship in today's youth.
The WIAA helps provide those opportunities through athletic, artistic, and academic competition.
Please join the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires in supporting young people in your community by attending your local high school state championships.
For a complete list of events and activities in your area, visit WIAA.com.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Miller, the center fielder, Miller.
Kelso trying to add on to their 2-0 lead here in the top of the third inning. The play-by-play, here's Jake Eastman.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. It'll be Slate Miller to lead off the top half of the third inning, 3, 4, and 5. Due up for Scott Meeker's Kelso Highlanders. A strike on the outside corner. Quickly coming back is Kimpton. And the next pitch is skied high, straight away center field. Nate Williams is under it, and he gloves it for out number 1. 2 pitches and 1 away. Slate Miller now only 0 for 2 in the tournament. He's walked 3 times in his 5 plate appearances, including in the first inning today. He came around to score the second run of today's game. 2-0 is the Kelso lead for the Highlanders. 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, nothing but zeros in all 3 columns for the Blanchet Braves. Nate Grumbois takes a curveball inside, and the second pitch is grounded right to the shortstop. And there, with plenty of time, tossing it across is Nate Backus. 4 pitches, 2 outs.
And maybe we're seeing both pitchers get into some rhythm here, but you look at the 1-2-3 inning that Quentin Hakkinen threw for Kelso in the first 2 outs of this inning, and it's been a quick 5 outs that we've just had.
Tyson Johnson, the batter now, the right-hander, plays right field today. 1 for 1 with a RBI single through the right side, his first time up. He takes an off-speed pitch outside, and it's 1-0. Next pitch, a fastball on the inside corner. Count evens up at 1-1. Tyson Johnson electing not to play in suit and put the second pitch in play here in the third inning. He waves at a curveball, and he falls behind 1-2. Eric Kimpton looking for a quick and efficient 8-pitch inning right here. As the next offering is on the way, it's popped up right side, running toward foul territory, and out is the second baseman, and he's not going to get to it. Holberg has it drop in right behind him, a perfectly placed looper into right field, just into no man's land out there. Josh LaRussa was coming in from right field. He couldn't get to it, and it just fell in the middle of that triangle. It'll be a line drive in the box scores, a 2-out single for Tyson Johnson. He's now 2 for 2 on the day. So that brings up Trevor Feeney. Feeney, the catcher, 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out to end the first inning. He lines the first pitch through the right side, low near the ground, and it gets through for a base hit. Back-to-back singles now for Tyson Johnson and Trevor Feeney. And after getting 2 outs in just 4 pitches, Eric Kimpton is going to have to work his way out of some trouble now here in the third.
And we'll have a courtesy runner coming in for the catcher Feeney. For Kelso, it'll be Devin Sims coming in and taking his spot.
Devin Sims, the brother of the man stepping to the bat right now. That is Corbin Sims. Corbin, 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out swinging to start the second inning. Sims, the First of 2 strikeout victims so far today. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop. Going to be a close play as he goes the short way to second. Backus to Holberg, and they get the sliding courtesy runner Sims by millimeters there at second base. We've played 2.5 here at Gesa Stadium. The score is Kelso 2 and Blanchet nothing.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
In the bottom of the third inning, number 2, Ray Sidarius, the third baseman, Sidarius.
Bottom of the third now, leading it off for Blanchet will be Ray Sidarius. Sidarius, the third baseman, digs in from the left-hand side. And the southpaw Hackinen's first offering is on the outer edge. For strike one, 8, 9, and 1 due up here in the Blanchet third. Sidarius, Williams, and Josh LaRussa. Next pitch taken outside. Count evens up on Sidarius at 1-1. Hakkinen into the windup. Brings the next offering. Here's a looper back in front of second base. In to get it, the shortstop Radcliffe, but he bobbles it and he'll have no play. Would have been a do-or-die play coming in and to his left, but he was unable to glove it. That should be an infield single for Ray Sidarius. First hit for the Blanchet Braves.
That's what I was thinking, too. That just right as it left the bat, you thought, oof, that is going to be tough. Going right over Hackinen's head, and an awfully tough play is once it hit the grass, it died for Radcliffe. And it will go down as a tough luck error for Radcliffe.
So Blanchet still hitless as Nate Williams comes to bat. He's squaring to bunt, and the center fielder pulls back and takes low, ball one. Sidarius his lead from first as Williams squares to bunt again. Pulls back at the last second and takes a second consecutive ball. 2-0 on Williams. Williams hitting .357 on the year. Small sample size, though. Only 5 hits and 14 at-bats. 2-0 the count on him. He's squaring to bunt one more time. This time he pulls back and takes a strike on the outer edge. And it is 2-1. Sunshine has been shielded by the clouds now as the clouds have come overcast as the bunt is down third base side. Fielding it and throwing on to first is Corbin Sims. Successful sacrifice by Nate Williams and a good job by Sims crashing hard and making the play to first. So Sidarius moves up to second. First out of the inning. Sacrifice goes 5-3. And the lineup flips over for Josh LaRussa. LaRussa The right-hander, 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out swinging. His first time up, he's the only strikeout victim thus far of Quentin Hakkinen. Hakkinen with an off-speed pitch over the outer edge at 70 miles an hour. Induces a swing and a miss, 0-1. Leading from second is Sidarius. Hakkinen looks him back and comes to the plate. Here's a curveball, a swing and a miss, and it gets by the catcher Feeney, and advancing to third base is Sidarius. It's an odd play right there. Feeney had that get by him. It didn't bounce. Looked like he may have been crossed up slightly. A little bit of a confusion there as Feeney had to get behind him, and Sidarius now 90 feet away, and a fly ball can cut the Kelso lead in half. The next offering, that is over but low. Almost too close to take right there for Josh LaRussa. So Sidarius over to third on the passed ball. As Hakkinen brings the 1-2. Here's a shallow pop-up into center field. On comes Miller. He makes the catch on the run. And not even tempting fate that time is Ray Sidarius. He will hold, and he didn't even bother bluffing. It was so shallow.
Batting number 40, Sam Holberg, the second baseman, Holberg.
So it comes down to Holberg here in the bottom of the third. Holberg reached on a walk his first time up, so no official at-bats for the second baseman, Sam Holberg. Sam waves at a breaking ball on the first pitch and falls behind, 0-1. Holberg advanced to second base after the walk in the first inning on a balk by Hakkinen. Next pitch on the outer edge, a fastball at 73. So 0-2 on Holberg now, as Hakkinen looks to get out of here after the leadoff error. Here's a line drive foul. Going to go out of play down the left field line, and the count holds at 0-2. Sidarius on at third base. He led off the inning reaching on an error, a tough luck error on Taylor Radcliffe. He was bunted to second base by Nate Williams and advanced to third on a wild pitch. 1-2 the count now on Holberg, as Hakkinen comes to the plate. Here's a swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Pitch was in the dirt. Feeney picks it up and tags Holberg to record the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits, one error, and one man left on at third base. We've played 3 here at Gesa Stadium. The score is Kelso 2 and Blanchet 0.
Hi, we're Chris
And Anna Groneveld, local dairy farmers from Monroe, Washington.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington, along with Les Schwab Tires, are proud co-title sponsors of the WIAA High School State Championships.
The Washington Interscholastic Activities Association supports high school programs and activities that keep our kids growing in mind and body.
Today's high school students will be some of tomorrow's community leaders, and we feel it is important to do our part in helping foster an appreciation of community, responsibility, teamwork, and sportsmanship in today's youth.
The WIAA helps provide those opportunities through athletic, artistic, and academic competition.
Please join the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires in supporting young people in your community by attending your local high school state championships.
For a complete list of events and activities in your area, visit WIAA.com.
Top of the fourth now, Alex McCormick leading it off for the Kelso Highlanders. He swings and fouls the first pitch straight back into the net. And it's 0-1. Working quickly is Kimpton, and he hits the outer half with an off-speed pitch at 62 miles an hour there. And he's ahead of McCormick. 0-2, the next offering, a fastball way outside. 76 miles an hour that time from Kimpton. Kimpton, the first-team All-Metro player, blows the next pitch by Alex McCormick. And it's a 4-pitch strikeout to start the 4th inning. 2-0 Kelso. They got their runs in the first inning when they got 3 hits from Rogers, Grumbois, and Tyson Johnson. Grumbois and Johnson each with an RBI single in the first inning, scoring Cody Rogers and Slate Miller. 1-0 the count now on Cam Johnson. Johnson 1 for 1 today. He takes the next pitch down in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Now the next offering to Cam. He swings and hits a lazy foul ball out of play on the right side. Johnson singled his first time up, was left stranded at first base in the second. Next pitch, hit foul again toward the same area as the previous pitch, and Kimpton has evened the count at 2-2. Here's the next offering that misses inside, and the count is now full on Cam Johnson. Cam, a .222 hitter without a home run this year. 7 runs batted in. Here's a line drive foul down the right field line. Johnson missed extra bases by just a few feet there. It goes down the right field line like that, down into the corner. Got a better shot at a triple. Could have been a triple for Cam Johnson. Next pitch, skied to center, shallow. Out go the middle infielders. In comes the center fielder, but it's going to be the shortstop Backus that makes the catch, running back and catching it over the shoulder.
That was a difficult grab, and he made it look easy. Just nice fluid motion in stride. At first, you'd think that Williams, the center fielder, he was going to be able to charge in and get it, but Backus there and made it look easy.
So here's Radcliffe, 3rd time around now against Eric Kimpton. Radcliffe 0 for 2 on the day as he takes the first pitch inside. The next offering, line to center field. Nate Williams just a couple of steps back, and he's under it to make the catch. A nice, easy 1-2-3 inning for Eric Kimpton and the Blanchet Braves. We're halfway done here at Gesa Stadium. The score is Kelso 2 and Blanchet nothing.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
It'll be Nate Backus to lead it off for the Blanchet Braves here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Backus, a great game yesterday against the Kamayakan Braves. He went 2 for 5 with 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. He's 0 for 1 today, and he takes the first offering from Quentin Hakkinen outside for ball 1, 1-0 on Backus, who flew out to right field. His first time up. The next offering, a swing and a foul tip right off of the catcher. Trevor Feeney. So the count even at 1-1 on Backus. Backus, the senior, will be playing Division III college baseball next year at the University of Puget Sound. He's ready for the 1-1. Breaking ball bounces in, and it's 2-1.
Now UPS trivia time. What's their mascot? What's their nickname?
I want to say the Loggers.
Bingo. Bingo. I guess I couldn't tell you their mascot. I don't know if it's Larry the Logger, but it's the Loggers.
I think they just have a lumberjack.
It's true. It's true.
2-2 as Backus fouls this one back. The Blanchet shortstop, a .333 hitter on the year. 14 runs batted in for Nate. Next pitch misses inside. Count runs full. On Backus, Quentin Hakkinen has walked only one batter thus far, looking to avoid a second free pass. Looks like he'll do that as this one is skied to shallow center. Both middle infielders converging, and it will be Cody Rogers, the second baseman, to make the catch for out number 1.
Now looking at the flag out in center field, we talked earlier about how it was going from right to left as opposed to left to right yesterday, and now the wind blowing out right now, blowing out towards left center field.
So this will be advantageous for those right-handed pull hitters, as the next pitch is pulled by Kimpton, but on the ground right to the third baseman, Corbin Sims. He'll have to fire it across to get the speedy Kimpton. So Kimpton retired on just one pitch, and Quentin Hakkinen has retired the first two. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Blanchet still without a hit. Ray Sidarius hit one into no man's land, kind of in front of second base to lead off the third inning, but it was ruled an error on Taylor Radcliffe, who came in and bobbled the ball on a somewhat do-or-die play. Hakkinen misses outside with the first offering. It's 1-0. Peter Johnson 0 for 1 today. And like all of his Blanchet teammates, he is hitless in this game. 2-0 on him. Johnson flew out to center field. His only time. To the plate. Now the 2-0. And that is fouled straight back. Johnson right on that one. Hits it firmly back into the net. 2 balls, 1 strike. George Monica's Blanchet Braves trailing 2-0 here in the bottom of the fourth inning in the 3A consolation game, as a curveball drops in for a strike. 2-2 now on Peter Johnson. Johnson, a all-everything athlete, all-league wrestler, baseball player, and football player. The next offering, a one-hop shot right back at Hakkinen. Hakkinen will turn and throw on to first. There to record the putout is Alex McCormick. A 3-up, 3-down bottom of the fourth inning. We've played 4 here at Gesa Stadium. The score is Kelso 2 and Blanchet 0.
Hi, we're Chris
And Anna Groneveld, local dairy farmers from Monroe, Washington.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington, along with Les Schwab Tires, are proud co-title sponsors of the WIAA High School State Championships.
The Washington Interscholastic Activities Association supports high school programs and activities that keep our kids growing in mind and body.
Today's high school students will be some of tomorrow's community leaders, and we feel it is important to do our part in helping foster an appreciation of community, responsibility, teamwork, and sportsmanship in today's youth.
The WIAA helps provide those opportunities through athletic, artistic, and academic competition.
Please join the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires in supporting young people in your community by attending your local high school state championships.
For a complete list of events and activities in your area, visit WIAA.com.
Number 2, Cody Rogers, the second baseman, Rogers.
Cody Rogers will lead it off. He lines the first pitch right back through the box into center field for a base hit. Nate Williams, the center fielder, up with the ball, gets it back into the infield. One pitch, one on, as Cody Rogers has his second hit of the day, seventh hit already for the Kelso Highlanders, and that's the story of the game thus far. The big discretion coming in the hits column. 7 for Kelso and none thus far for the Blanchet Braves. Skying the first pitch to shallow center is Slate Miller, and his defensive counterpart Nate Williams is there to make the catch. So 2 pitches, and we're already on to the third batter. A first pitch single by Cody Rogers, and first pitch swinging was Slate Miller, and he's flown out. One away here in the top of the 5th inning. Jake Eastman along with Chris King. Wherever you are, thanks for being with us this morning. Here's a diving stop by the second baseman Holberg. He's going to have to hurry his throw to first, and it's not in time, but a great effort right there by Holberg, as he was able to make a pretty strong throw on one hop over to Connor Selly, but it was not in time to beat Nate Grumbois, the designated hitter. An infield single for Grumbois, his second hit of the day. And Kelso has something going here in the 5th. Kimpton working from the stretch. The southpaw delivers, and he finds the zone with the first pitch. It's 0-1. Taking off is the runner from second base. Throw down to third. They're going to get the tag in time, and Cody Rogers is caught stealing. Staying at first was Nate Grumbois. Rogers retired 2-5 on the caught stealing, and that was a perfect pitch for the catcher Jacob Place to throw out a runner on third. As he got a fastball inside to a right-handed hitter, he was able to use his momentum and carry it right toward third base. Next pitch chopped over to third. This is going to be an easy play for Ray Sidarius. So Kelso threatens with 2 on and 1 out, but in 2 pitches it's thwarted, and they are retired here in the 5th. We go to the bottom half. Still Kelso 2 and Blanchet nothing.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Little outcast over the PA system brings us to the bottom of the 5th inning. Connor Selly to lead it off. He'll be followed by Nick Wass and Ray Sidarius. First pitch on the way to Selly, and he takes it for a strike at the knees. 0-1. Selly 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to shortstop Taylor Radcliffe, his only time up. Next offering in the dirt. Picked out by Trevor Feeney. Count evens up at 1-1. Connor Selly had 2 extra base hits in yesterday's game as he ropes this next pitch foul down the left field line. Ball just sitting out there now. Finally a Blanchet player is going to go pick it up off the bench.
I was just thinking that out there in left field, Johnson was looking at it like it was a foreign object, like he wasn't going to go grab it. And finally, as you said, one of the Braves will come out and get it.
He has to sprint out there to do so, as Mark Allen, the third base umpire, would not let play resume until that ball was picked up. The 1-2 is outside. Curveball staying away. A slow breaking ball that time from Quentin Hakkinen, registering at 57 miles an hour. Now the 2-2 lined into left field. This is going to be the first hit of the game for the Blanchet Braves. Playing it on one hop is Cam Johnson, and Connor Selly has a leadoff single here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
I believe it was in yesterday's game against Eastside Catholic. It was the fifth inning when things started to go south for Kelso in that game after Kobe Johnson was very, very good through 4 innings and had a little hiccup in the fifth, and then the seventh is where things kind of fell apart.
Kelso obviously will look to avoid having history repeat itself. Here in the consolation game, squaring to bunt is Nick Wass. Wass pulls back and takes a ball, 1-0. Wass 0 for 1 on the day. He lined out to second baseman Cody Rogers. His first time up, he's squaring to bunt again, pulls back and had to get out of the way of that one as he was squared up to the pitcher. If he wouldn't have moved, it would have hit him right in the letters of Blanchet across the chest. Wass did not have a hit in yesterday's game, but he did walk and come around to score in Blanchet's 5-run second inning against Kamiakin. Hakkinen throws over as Alex McCormick holds Selly on at first. Wass squares to bunt one more time, pulls back, and the count is now 3-0. One more bad one, and Nick Wass will essentially get a free sacrifice as it will move Selly over to second, and then Sidarius can try and bunt instead, which would put the tying run in scoring position. 3-0, he squares but pulls back. Looks like Wass really never intended to put that one down on that pitch. And the count now 3-1. Squaring to bunt one more time as Wass, he pops it up in the air. The Kelso third baseman crashing Corbin Sims. Not quite enough room to make that catch, and the count is now 3-2. So full count now. We saw one bunt yesterday with 2 strikes. Let's see if Monica leaves it on, or if he lets Wass swing away. Perhaps a good time to put the game in motion with Selly at first. Here's a throw over. Perhaps Hakkinen thinking the same thing. Wass, a .338 hitter on the year. Looking for the second hit of the day for the Blanchet Braves. Here's a ground ball right side. There to get it is Rogers. He looks at second, but elects to take the sure thing at first. So after failing to get the bunt down, Wass ends up pulling one to the right side and moving the runner over nonetheless.
Third baseman, Sidarius.
So Ray Sidarius, the batter now. Sidarius hit one into no man's land right in front of second base and reached on an error by shortstop Taylor Radcliffe. He takes the first pitch at the knees. First strike one. Bill Fitzgerald, the home plate umpire, pumps the fist, making the call. The next offering from Hakkinen on the way. Off-speed pitch. Hit back through the box. Coming in and playing it on a hop is Slate Miller. He will make the relay throw, cut off by first baseman Alex McCormick, and holding at third base is Connor Selly. Selly had to turn and look to see if that ball would carry all the way out to Slate Miller to see if he could take off, and he had to hesitate a little bit too long to have any chance of scoring. So he moves up to third. Sidarius on at first. Nate Williams will be the batter. Williams without an official at-bat today. He put down a sacrifice bunt his last time up, and that sacrifice moves Sidarius from first to second. Sidarius is on first again for him, but this time Williams has one more runner aboard in Connor Selly at third base. Here is a pullback on the bunt. Taking off is Sidarius. He's safe at second, and the throw goes into center field from Feeney. Coming in to score is Connor Selly, and going all the way to third base is Ray Sidarius. Now the tying run just 90 feet away on the throwing error by Trevor Feeney. And yesterday, it really was the error that was the Achilles heel for Kelso. They committed 5 errors in that game against Eastside Catholic. They've committed 2 today, and that was a big one right there. Could end up allowing Blanchet to tie the game. The squeeze is on. Ball is popped up in the air. The third baseman, Sims, makes the catch. He's going to throw it back to the shortstop, covering Taylor Radcliffe for out number 3. A double play on the squeeze that was popped up the second time we've seen that here at Gesa Stadium this weekend. 1 run comes in, and Blanchet cuts the lead in half. We've played 5 here in Pasco. The score is Kelso 2 and Blanchet 1.
Hi, we're Chris
And Anna Groneveld, local dairy farmers from Monroe, Washington.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington, along with Les Schwab Tires, are proud co-title sponsors of the WIAA High School State Championships.
The Washington Interscholastic Activities Association supports high school programs and activities that keep our kids growing in mind and body.
Today's high school students will be some of tomorrow's community leaders, and we feel it is important to do our part in helping foster an appreciation of community, responsibility, teamwork, and sportsmanship in today's youth.
The WIAA helps provide those opportunities through athletic, artistic, and academic competition.
Please join the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires in supporting young people in your community by attending your local high school state championships.
For a complete list of events and activities in your area, visit WIAA.com.
Trevor Feeney will lead off the top of the 6th inning for the Kelso Highlanders. Here to take us home, Chris King.
Must be a little rust for Eric Kimpton on that first pitch as he unable to connect with his catcher place as it goes back to the backstop. Second pitch. That one right across the plate and fouled off by Trevor Feeney. 2-1 our score, top of the 6th inning. Kelso getting 2 runs in the very beginning of the game, the top of the first, and able to cling on to that lead. Quentin Hakkinen, the starter for the Highlanders, had a no-hitter through 4 innings. Gave up 2 hits in the 5th. 1 run off a double steal attempt and a throwing error by the catcher Feeney, who's up at the plate as he fouls it off once more. And it looked like Bishop Blanchet in the last inning, heck, they were in business. 1 out, runner on at third base. But a squeeze play came back to haunt them as it was popped up off the bat of Nate Williams. Ray Sidarius was thrown out at the bag, and a double play keeps that lead intact for Kelso, only by 1 run now. 2-2 count. Kimpton deals home. The pitch is laced into the glove of the third baseman. Grabbing into Sidarius, an easy throw across the diamond. And Feeney goes down for out number 1. That was a hard hit ball. It looked like Sidarius just stuck out his glove, looked down in the leather, and it turned out for him the ball ended up there. Corbin Sims now the batter. Sims, the third baseman for the Highlanders, 0 for 2 on the day, a fielder's choice, and he's also struck out. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled back along the first base line, clanking up into the seats and up by the Beamer Titans. Beamer and Richland will be our next matchup. That will be at 1 o'clock. The 4A consolation game. The 1-1 pitch is nubbed into right center field. Williams heading over and unable to make the diving catch. Falling in for a base hit. Corbin Sims comes up with his first hit of the game. And with 1 out, Kelso has a man aboard. That's the 9th hit of the game for Kelso.
First baseman McCormick.
You look at it, 9 hits, you'd like to think that you'd have more than 2 runs up on the scoreboard, but not the case here. As in the 5th inning, Kelso had 2 base hits, couldn't get a run out of it. In the 3rd inning, they had 2 base hits and couldn't get a run out of it. In the 2nd inning, they had 1 base hit, but also a free pass by Kimpton and couldn't get a run out of it.
Excellent job by the Highlander bats bouncing back today, as they only had 3 hits yesterday against Eastside Catholic. And as you said, Chris, with the 9 hits, they've tripled that mark already.
Looks like the home plate umpire, Bill Fitzgerald, running low on balls.
Number 23, Seth Gillahan.
And we'll have a pinch hitter coming in for Kelso, Seth Gillahan, the sophomore middle infielder, be coming in and hitting for Alex McCormick. So Gillahan getting a chance. Here's the first pitch. Is taken for a base hit out into right field. So hats off to Scott Meeker, the coach for the Highlanders, pushing the right button right there. A pinch hitter and only taking 1 pitch, as Seth Gillahan only in his 24th at-bat of the year.
Johnson, the left fielder, Johnson.
Coming up with a big base hit here. Highlanders up by 1, top of the 6th. 1 out, runners on to first and second. Back to the top of the order. Cam Johnson, the number 9 hitter, puts this over the head of Nick Wass. That will fall in. Coming around to score is Corbin Sims. Gillahan not too far behind him. They'll wave him around. Heading into third. Johnson slides in head first. The ball is loose, and they're going to wave him around for a moment. But as he was sliding in, Johnson, with that delay in getting up, didn't see Meeker waving him around third, so he'll have to stay at third base. But the end result, a very, very good one for Kelso, a 2 RBI triple. And now a little more breathing room on that lead, a 4-1 advantage. Now it's back to the top of the order as Taylor Radcliffe steps up to the plate and puts in a little looper over the head of the first baseman, Selly. That will drive in another run. Trying to turn it into a double. The throw from LaRusso and right is in time. And he is thrown out at second. So the Highlanders keeping their foot on the pedal here in the top of the 6th inning. So being aggressive there was Radcliffe, trying to stretch it into a double. But still able to drive home Johnson from third base for the 3rd run here in the top of the 6th. Now 5-1 the score.
Kelso's really keeping this momentum on the base paths. They're doing a good job of keeping the intensity really high. They could have had it go differently, as Cody Rogers was caught stealing third base in the 5th inning. That was a bit of a momentum shift, but they've decided to stay aggressive, and it's been paying off for the Highlanders.
Definitely has here in this inning. Rogers 2 for 3 in today's game with 2 singles and a run scored. Down in the count, 1-2. See the Kelso fans here making a trip from Cowlitz County here to Pasco. See their shirts. It says, "Why not us?" State Finals 2012. The Highlanders fell short yesterday of making the state championship, but here they are trying to secure 3rd place. The 2-2 pitch from Kimpton fouled back into the net. Deuces wild here in the top of the 6th inning. 3 runs already in for the Highlanders. Nobody aboard. Kimpton trying to put it into the inning as he induces another foul ball. Rogers coming back after going 0 for 4 yesterday. A much better day at the plate. The .256 hitter this year. Watches the ball go past place. Looked like place for a moment. Thought there might still be runners aboard as he went chasing after that ball. Once he realized that, hey, you can take your time and go get that ball from the backstop when no one's aboard. The payoff pitch comes home. A ground ball to the shortstop. Backus grabs it on the run. Double pump, low throw. Selly able to bend down and grab it. And that will end the inning. But an inning that saw 3 more runs come in for Kelso. We move to the bottom of the 6th. Our score, Kelso 5, Blanchet 1.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes Free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Back for the bottom of the sixth inning here at Gesa Stadium in Pasco, the 3A consolation game. 5-1 the score in the bottom of the sixth. Blair Henning will be coming in as the pinch hitter for Blanchet. Pinch hitting for Josh LaRussa. The pitch is a hard hit ground ball rolling off the glove of the shortstop Radcliffe, trying to backhand it. That'll head out into the outfield. And it'll be a single. So Jake, both teams in this last inning pinch hitting, and it's worked out well. First pitch base hits for both pinch hitters.
Yeah, both coaches pushing the right buttons here, as we're going to see a pinch runner for Blair Henning. So Henning's day is done after one pitch.
25, Josh LaRussa. That's re-entered as a pinch runner.
So Josh LaRussa, whose spot Henning took, will enter as a pinch runner. That works out conveniently. Have someone go out there, get your base hit, then go on and run on the bases. Sam Holberg, the batter. Only the third base hit of the game for Blanchet as he hits it into deep right field. Johnson going back. That's over his head. LaRussa rounding second, heading for third. Digging it out of the dirt on the warning track is Johnson. Rounding third and scoring easily is LaRussa. And in with an RBI triple is Sam Holberg. So after giving up 3 runs in the top of the sixth inning, the Blanchet offense wasting no time to answer back. Now down by 3, the score 5-2.
It's a great bounce back here by Blanchet after they had that squeeze play backfire to end the last inning for that double play, and then giving up 3 runs to fall behind by 4. They could have easily been deflated and kind of rolled over. They were a little deflated yesterday against Kamiakin, but today, no quitting this club, bouncing right back, and they're knocking on the door for more.
The number 3 hitter, Nate Backus, has flown out to Johnson in right field and popped up to Rogers at second base, 0 for 2 on the day. Runner on at third with nobody out. Blanchet looking to chisel away at that 3-run lead. Hakkinen right down the middle for strike 1. Kelso 5 runs off of 12 hits and helped out. Or correction, not helped out. Hurt themselves with 2 of their own errors. Over for Blanchet. 2 runs off of 4 hits, so 8 more hits for Kelso. A ground ball that will score the run. Radcliffe goes for the out, retires Backus, but coming in is Sam Holberg. So our score now 5-3. An RBI for Backus. And Quentin Hakkinen. Kind of with a fresh start here. Now no one aboard. He's given up the 2 runs in the inning, but still has the 2-run lead. Eric Kimpton takes the first pitch for a ball. It's grounded out twice. Hakkinen twirls home. A line drive just out of the reach to the leaping second baseman Rogers. Looked like a frog. Some pretty good hops there. Just not quite tall enough. At least not a big enough glove. Maybe he had about a foot to that glove, and that would have been a snow cone catch. Either way, Kimpton comes through with a base hit. A 1-out single as Blanchet looks to continue the rally going here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's now the number 5 hitter, Peter Johnson. The DH. Watches ball 1 go by. Johnson talked about it yesterday, Jake, when he was on the hill. This is a heck of an athlete.
Oh, absolutely. Peter Johnson, all-Metro football, all-Metro baseball, and a state champion wrestler. Fall, winter, and spring, he's involved in playing at a high level for whatever sport it is at that particular season.
Johnson flies out to right field. As a fellow Johnson, no relation I'm sure, is out there, Tyson Johnson, to make the catch, and now 2 down in the inning. Connor Selly had a big game yesterday with 2 doubles. And already with a single and a run scored here today, with 2 down and runner on at first. Down by 2, the Braves battling back here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It was 5-1 going into the inning as Kelso has led the entire way. Blanchet, they have Lancer back with 2. Highlighted by a big RBI triple from Sam Holberg. Next pitch low and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Selly, the first baseman, rocks back and forth in the batter's box and takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Some action down in the Kelso bullpen. Looks like Joey Howard, who we saw yesterday, getting loose in the bullpen. Howard struggled in his appearance in yesterday's game as he pitched through part of that 7th inning that saw 10 runs come in for Eastside Catholic as they blew it open. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Hakkinen trying to end the inning. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled back. Breaking ball nearly fooled Selly. Just able to nick the ball to foul it off. The southpaw from the stretch. Once more, the 2-2, a ground ball. Shortstop Radcliffe right there, a nasty hop, and he'll have no play. So Radcliffe, not much he could do about that. Was going over to his left, in position for it, and somehow must have caught a rock or a little divot in the dirt out there in the infield, and that ball jumped up all the way by his chest. So they will rule that a hit. And stepping up is Nick Wass, a fly ball to left field. Getting back is Johnson. He's there to make the catch and to end the inning. 2 runs do come in for Blanchet. We're through 6 innings here at Gesa Stadium. To the top of the 7th we go. Our score, Kelso 5, Blanchet 3.
Hi, we're Chris
And Anna Groneveld, local dairy farmers from Monroe, Washington.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington, along with Les Schwab Tires, are proud co-title sponsors of the WIAA High School State Championships.
The Washington Interscholastic Activities Association supports high school programs and activities that keep our kids growing in mind and body.
Today's high school students will be some of tomorrow's community leaders, and we feel it is important to do our part in helping foster an appreciation of community, responsibility, teamwork, and sportsmanship in today's youth.
The WIAA helps provide those opportunities through athletic, artistic, and academic competition.
Please join the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires in supporting young people in your community by attending your local high school state championships.
For a complete list of events and activities in your area, visit WIAA.com.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
A new pitcher on the mound for Bishop Blanchet, Max Schwabe coming in. Our score 5-3. Kelso with the 2-run advantage in the top of the 7th inning. So Max Schwabe, his task clear. Just keep it a 2-run game. Give the offense a chance to come back in the bottom of the 7th inning. Schwabe will face the 3, 4, 5 hitters for Kelso, Miller, Grumbois, and Tyson Johnson. The right-hander pitched in the extra innings affair as he finished out the 9th. In yesterday's game, that loss to Kamayakin. Lanky righty uncoils, breaking ball, missing just inside. Schwabe 2-0 on the year. 3.42 ERA. Pitching a little over 14 innings. The 1-1 pitch, a hard hit ground ball, backhanded in the hole by Backus. The throw will be in time. Good job by the first baseman, Selly, to dig it out off a hop. And one retired here in the top of the 7th.
It's a great play on both sides. Backus making one of the toughest plays a shortstop has to make, going out to his right into shallow left field and then making the throw across the body. And on the other side, Connor Selly making a big league pick out of the dirt. One away.
Nate Grumbois, the DH, doing his job. 2 for 3 on the day. Takes a strike on the inside corner. Drove in the first run of the game when Kelso jumped out on top in the top of the first. Had an RBI single. The Highlanders were able to score 2. Same pitch, same result. As Schwabe heads back to the rubber with an 0-2 count. Accepts the first time without any hesitation. Goes outside as his catcher Place was lined up inside. Place wants an appeal, but I don't think that was anywhere close. As we see dual action now in the Kelso bullpen. So they will have at least a 2-run lead to work with in the 7th. As Schwabe's next pitch is in the dirt. So we talked about how Joey Howard was warming up earlier. He's still doing that, but joining him and the action down in the bullpen is Chase Johansson. Chase Johansson down in the bullpen. 2-2. Grumbois able to battle back and foul that pitch off. Kelso trying to capture 3rd place here in the 3A state tournament. As Grumbois smacks it into the gap into left center field, being cut off by Kimpton, able to jump out in front of it. Good job defensively to close the gap and to make it only a 1-out single for Grumbois, who's now 3 for 4 in today's game.
Batting number 21, Tyson Johnson, the right fielder, Johnson.
We'll have a courtesy runner out on at first base for the DH Grumbois. Devin Sims will head out and take over as the courtesy runner. And that will bring up Tyson Johnson. So the middle of the order, the 4-5 hitters have done their job. 5 for 7 for Grumbois and Johnson up at the plate between the two so far in today's game. Schwabe with 1 out. Love a double play here as he puts a breaking ball over for strike 1.
Kelso, number 10.
Schwabe peers in as he steps off the rubber and looks back the runner at first. Another look to first, and back in time is Sims. Trevor Feeney on deck, the catcher. Still with part of his gear on. Blanchet would love a double play here. Delivery is fouled back and out of play. Next up, we have the second consolation game between Richland and Beamer. Beamer will be the home team for the game. Richland was in a great pitcher's duel in yesterday's game. Came out on the short end of it, but a heck of a ball game we had, unarguably. No argument. It was the best game of the day yesterday, was that matchup that we had between Richland and Puyallup.
That's pretty tough to say. We did have an extra inning game yesterday, Chris, with a 4-run 7th inning to tie the game, but that was probably the most exciting game as far as the purest standpoint of that pitcher's duel back and forth. A very exciting 1-0 game. Puyallup came out on top. Unfortunately, someone had to lose that game, and Richland coming up on the short end of the stick.
Lined into center field, but unfortunately for Tyson Johnson, right at Kimpton. Kimpton coming out after pitching the first 6 innings of the game, moving to center field. And Williams moving from center to left. So Kimpton right now, 6 innings, giving up 5 runs and 12 hits as Schwabe taking over for him.
Jake Hayes was the pitch runner. Number 10, Jake Hayes, running at first base.
So a correction, we identified it as Devin Sims. It's actually Jake Hayes. Out on at first base is the courtesy runner. So Hayes on at first base. Feeney takes the ball on Schwabe's first delivery. So we'll see what Kelso does, as Quentin Hakkinen has done a heck of a job. But we see 2 pitchers warming up in the bullpen. Right now Joey Howard has stopped throwing. And it's just Chase Johansson down in the bullpen right now. 1-1 the count to Feeney. Just has the posture of a catcher up at the plate. Almost that stiff look to him, and I think this is the first time in the 2 games that we've done, Jake, where he's had that back tail of his jersey tucked in. Breaking ball in for a called strike, and no doubt about it, as Feeney will get a handful of dirt as he faces a 2-2 count. Schwabe trying to put an end to the top of the 7th. 5-3 our score. Kelso on top. The delivery in the dirt. Pretty good turnout from both programs. Looks like might be a few more Kelso fans here. As a fastball low and in. And the count now full on Trevor Feeney. Feeney 1 for 3. A single is also grounded out twice to Sedarius at third. The runner takes off. This one hit hard down the left field line. It will be fair. Taking off running is Hayes, and he'll be rounding third, given the green light to go home. No throw. An RBI double for Trevor Feeney. An insurance run is tacked on. Now a 3-run lead for Kelso, 6-3. They lead the Bishop Blanchet Braves in the top of the 7th. Good base running by Jake Hayes, the courtesy runner. He was taking off as soon as that ball left the bat. Looked like a racehorse galloping around the bases.
Good call right there by Scott Meeker, putting the game in motion. If Hayes isn't taking off with that pitch, he might not necessarily score, as getting over there quickly was Nate Williams, the left fielder, to come up with that ball and get it back in. But with Hayes taking off on the pitch, he had no chance to get him at home.
And the delivery goes behind Corbin Sims. Not too often you see that when you have to scoot towards the plate as opposed to away from it. Either way, it will go down as ball 1. 2 down. Courtesy runner out on at second base. Delivery misses inside once more. This time a little closer to the plate inside. Along with Jake Eastman, Chris King here with you. Game 1 of 4 today. We'll have all the action here on the WIAA network for all 4. Tough ground ball, backhanded by Backus. Long throw to first, and it'll get on by the first baseman, Selly, coming in to score. And it'll be a dead ball, so wrapping around to score is Devin Sims, the courtesy runner. Sims will get aboard with the single and move down to second as the ball went into the dugout. 7-3. 2 more runs added for Kelso. They are happy to take every single run that they can get at this point. The pitch, a ground ball to the right side. Holberg, the second baseman, right there. He'll throw to first and get out number 3. But we go to the bottom of the 7th. 2 more runs for Kelso, and now a 4-run lead for the Highlanders, just 3 outs away from capturing 3rd place here at the 3A state tournament.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Hitting off for Bishop Blanchet.
Kelso just 3 outs away from capturing 3rd place here at the 3A state tournament. Quentin Hakkinen try to make a complete game out of it. Hakkinen back out on the mound as he'll face the 8-9-1 hitters, Cedarius Williams and LaRussa.
Let's see if history can repeat itself in the opposite way for Blanchet. Yesterday, they were on the plus side of this situation as they took a 4-run lead into the bottom of the 7th and surrendered 4 runs. Kelso now in that same role right here, looking to hold on at that same margin.
Feeney pausing an extra moment or two as he was attempting to frame the pitch on the outside corner, but the home plate umpire, Bill Fitzgerald, didn't take the bait. It goes down as a ball. 2-1 from Hakkinen. That time, yeah, we'll get just a sliver of the dish, and count evens up at 2-2. 7-3 our score, 15 hits for Kelso in this game. The wind and the delivery, fastball in the dirt, is just saw a moment ago, and then it disappeared, but the trophy for 3rd place in state out here in the stands, and one of these 2 teams will get it after. Kelso just 3 outs away from securing that nice piece of hardware put in their trophy case. Popped up, and the shortstop Radcliffe is right there to make the catch for out number 1, excuse me. Be the number 9 hitter Nate Williams, and Williams was part of the play that really, I don't want to say crippled Blanchet, but they had a chance to get the momentum. And with a runner on at 3rd and 1 out, they tried the squeeze play. And it was popped up and turned into a double play as Williams comes through on the first pitch and smacks a base hit out to center field.
It's the first time Williams has actually swung the bat today. He was asked to bunt back in the 3rd, and then, of course, the squeeze play that ended the 5th inning. Kind of rare that you see a player not even get to swing the bat until the very last inning of the game, but he wastes no time. First pitch swinging, base hit for Williams.
So LaRussa back in the game. Had a pinch hitter in for him last time as the delivery misses off the plate. LaRussa 0 for 2 on the day. Came in as a pinch runner, though, for Blair Henning, who did his job. Got a single on the first pitch, and LaRussa came in and came around and scored. This one hit out to left field, a bit shallow, but Johnson right there to make the catch. And the Braves are down to their final out. 7-3, bottom of the 7th. Sam Holberg, who had an RBI triple in his last at-bat to drive home the first Blanchet run of the game. Now up the plate with 3rd place on the line. Hakkinen going for a complete game here. Didn't give up a run through the first 4 innings, or excuse me, a hit through the first 4 innings. Ball hit out to right field, and that's it. Catch made by Johnson. And Kelso secures third place in state. Finishing fourth is Bishop Blanchet as the Highlanders get an outstanding pitching performance from Quentin Hakkinen. And Kelso finished in fourth place in the regular season in the Greater St. Helens League. Well, that was their league. Here in the entire state this year, they'll finish in third place. Congratulations to the Highlanders, and also congratulations to Bishop Blanchet, both on a great season. Third and fourth place finishers. We'll take a quick break and come back with a recap. Final score here, 7-3. Kelso defeats Blanchet.
Hi, we're Chris
And Anna Groneveld, local dairy farmers from Monroe, Washington.
The Dairy Farmers of Washington, along with Les Schwab Tires, are proud co-title sponsors of the WIAA High School State Championships.
The Washington Interscholastic Activities Association supports high school programs and activities that keep our kids growing in mind and body.
Today's high school students will be some of tomorrow's community leaders, and we feel it is important to do our part in helping foster an appreciation of community, responsibility, teamwork, and sportsmanship in today's youth.
The WIAA helps provide those opportunities through athletic, artistic, and academic competition.
Please join the Dairy Farmers of Washington and Les Schwab Tires in supporting young people in your community by attending your local high school state championships.
For a complete list of events and activities in your area, visit WIAA.com.
At Les Schwab, along with great prices, our tires come with the kind of protection most other places just don't give you, which includes free flat repairs, equal value replacements, pre-trip safety checks, and more for the entire life of the tire. With the other guys, well, you just never know. So why is free protection on your tires good to have?
Lifetime protection. That's our best tire value promise. Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
The Kelso Highlanders receiving their third place trophy as the team huddles up along the first baseline, securing that with a 7-3 victory. Back here at Gesa Stadium along with Jake Eastman, Chris King here with you. Going back, Kelso, the 1995 state champions, and Blanchet was the 1996 state champions, but their best finish since 2008 when Kelso finished in second place, losing to Kennewick in the state championship game there. So the Highlanders with some hardware to take home. Blanchet, some hardware to take home as well. Kelso finishing in third place, and Bishop Blanchet finishing in fourth. Kelso jumped out to an early lead in this game with a 2-0 advantage, getting 2 runs in the first inning. It wasn't until the fifth that Bishop Blanchet was able to get anything off of starter Quentin Hakkinen. They were able to get 1 run off him on the fifth, 2 in the sixth, but some insurance runs came for the Highlanders. 3 came around in the sixth, 2 more in the seventh, as Kelso was able to secure the 7-3 victory and third place in state.
Well, that'll do it for us here for the morning game here at Gesa Stadium. We'll be back on in about an hour or so for the 4A consolation game between Richland and Todd Beamer. Todd Beamer out on the field right now getting their picture taken with the Gesa Stadium scoreboard in the background. So join us for that game at 1 o'clock, and then the 3A state championship at 4, followed by the 4A state championship at 7 o'clock. For Chris King and the entire crew, Bill Rice, Jim Brown, I'm Jake Eastman saying so long from Gesa Stadium. We'll see you at 1 o'clock.